Like you said, you can pretend that there are as many people here as you want.
Exactly. All right, well, let's get it started, right?
Okay.
So Microsoft Sway is essentially an application created by Microsoft as part of their Microsoft Office approach, right? That allows you to create interactive presentations, and that sounded pretty good. So I wanted to start by saying that we all have access to it as long as we have an Outlook account, as we all in the university have. And if you want to access it, there are many ways that you can do it, but one of them, kind of the easy, is if you open your email from your browser, you have these buttons here in the corner, right? And if you click at those, you should have access to them. One of the options there is Sway. You don't need to install anything. It all works in the cloud, so everything is just there. You don't need to save or anything like that. Anything that you write will be kind of automatically saved. The other way to open it is just typing sway.office.com. It produces the same results. And you log in with your Outlook account. And as you can see here, I have all of my Sways. In fact, you see just a few of the ones. And as you can see, I have been using it a lot. I'm going to show you just one to show you, what a Sway looks like. I'm going to use.
So is there a desktop application at all, or is there actually not one?
I used to have the desktop application. It really did the same that you could do here. This is probably one of the first that I created. And this is one that I use for my online class. So this is a Sway presentation that I created way before the lockdown. I created this as a mini lecture to accompany my face-to-face presentation. And as you can see, the first thing that you can see here is an audio file. This is one version that I created. So that's me talking.
Dear all, understanding the functioning of mirrors can be really complicated. Some of you are.
So as you can see, I could easily put an audio file, and also you can create subtitles. So it's very good for accessibility and stuff. So I felt like this would be a good way to put small videos, small audios in my slides. Yes.
Can you edit the subtitles or not?
Of course.
Okay,
yeah.
Great.
Yeah. It is a little bit. It takes a little bit of time, but I'll show you in a moment how you do that. In any case, as you can see, I put the material of my usual slides. It also has this kind of flashcards that you can use to emphasize particular topics. One good thing about Sway is that users can see it from their phones if they want. You can click through them, or you can just swipe. So it's very interactive in that sense. It's very easy to navigate for participants, right? And you can easily add, figures, images. You can add audio, video here, things like YouTube and the like. So this is what I'm going to show you how to do today. As I said, I think it's a great tool, but as all tools, it depends on how you use it. So this is what a Sway looks like. And to illustrate how it works, and as I keep talking, make sure if you want to start playing with it, please do it. This is one of the things that you learn by doing. Okay, so you can start from a topic. So if you put any topic here, it will take kind of the Wikipedia page and upload it. You can start from scratch, create new, or start from a document that you have used before. So if you have something in Word, PowerPoint, Excel, all of those are compatible with this. I'll show you that in a moment. For now, I'm going to create new. I'm going to start with a 0, right? And as you can see, this is what it looks like. There is at least 2 ways that you can do this. Of course, you can create your own Sway presentation, right, by adding any title that you want, right? Let's say that I'm going to teach something about research methods, so I just type, right, steps in the research process for the title. And then Sway, the way it works, as you create it, it has this little plus button here that allows you to insert further content. So as you can see, the general options are these: a heading, a title, some text, images, a stack. I will show you that in a moment. Is that option that I use to create kind of flashcards, and upload. The upload version is what I really like about it, and I will show that in a moment. But there are some other options here about what you can add to this: images, videos, audio, comparisons, slideshows. All of this is something that you can learn by exploring and by seeing what it does. Okay, so instead of creating my own slides, because that might take time, I already have a bunch of PowerPoints, and I'm going to use one of my PowerPoints to create my slides. But for now, I'm just going to use my slides. So I just go to one of my PowerPoints. And let me just go through one of them.
So you can convert existing PowerPoints into this.
Yeah, indeed.
That's amazing.
Yes. So let's say I have these slides here about emotion and motivation. I'm going to just select those, click plus and upload. So because this is Microsoft, it's fully compatible. And as you can see, what this is doing is converting my PowerPoints into a Sway already. Of course, it's not going to look exactly as I wanted, and I will refine it in a moment.
I think that's a huge advantage because as you were talking, I was sitting here thinking, like, I wonder how long it would take me to convert my existing PowerPoints into this. But just the fact that it will upload, like, that's just amazing to me.
It is amazing. As this is what it looks already without me doing anything. Okay. Yeah. If I want to see what a user would see, you just click on this play button upside. And this is what it looks like. Notice that I haven't edited anything or created anything. This is what it looks just from doing that. Okay. Wow. So it automatically looks great, right? But you can play with a lot of these options. Okay. So these are just my regular slides and the way it looks. Notice that all the pictures and all the text was uploaded, right? Which is already great, as you can see, right? I'm going to click here this edit version to go back to the one that I can play with, right? And I wanted to start by mentioning how is this different from Excel, from PowerPoint, sorry. Well, PowerPoint is more of a face-to-face presentation to accompany your, what you're talking about. Sway instead is more of what I would like to call a narrative instrument. In Sway, you're more telling a story. It has more of that element of a book that you're reading that has, of course, images and audio and those type of things, but it has that more narrative style, right? So, like in a PowerPoint, for instance, I don't know about you, but I generally have just small sentences that might not make much sense if you read them that way, right? So when I work in Sway, I try to make these a little bit more narrative. You're more telling a story. So let's start, if you want, a little bit with the design, how it's going to look. So Sway has essentially two options here. It says a storyline. This is what we use to essentially add content and modify things. And then it has a design tab. So when you click at that design tab, this is what you see. This is essentially what the participants, the people who are looking at the Sway looks. Here in this corner, there is this little tab that says styles. So if you hit styles, that is where you decide how your Sway is going to look. For instance, you can decide here where you want participants to go through this vertically, or like scrolling down, or horizontally, right? So it's really up to you how you present them, really. Or you can put it in a slide form that is more like what you would have in PowerPoint, as you can see here. To navigate, so you can go to different sections of it. Again, think of this as more of a book with different subtitles and sections and those stuff. So as I said, there are many options. So all of them have predefined colors and fonts. You don't need to worry about those, although you can modify them if you want. You can choose any, really, whatever looks better to you. Any of these, you go from the more professional to the cutesy ones, right? So there's also, it's really up to you what you use. And as I said, you can customize a lot of things by clicking here in the customized version. You can change things like the fonts, right? Or the colors, or the titles, the size of your text, and those type of things. So there is a lot of possibilities for customization. Let's say that I'm very boring and I go with a typical design, as I often do, right? This looks good to me, but you can play with this again. And as I said, you can customize it. I generally do this part at the end. To me, the important part is the content. So here is my storyline again. As I said, you just click storyline and you can start playing with this. Again, as I said, you can upload it by using PowerPoint or Word to create this, or you can create your own if you want. Let's say that in addition to this, I like to create a small introduction to my things, right? So I can add that introduction here by clicking here and then clicking text. This could create this small window, right? And I can type here, right? This is my introduction, right?
It almost reminds me a little bit of Qualtrics and that you're building stuff in blocks.
Exactly. That is a great comparison. And you can put bullets in this, and there are not many options here, but you can, put things in bold, italics, or a combination of both. You can add bullets, as I said, or numbers. You can add links also. So let's say that I want to use link to Sway from Wikipedia, let's say, right? So I find my Sway Office app, right? So you just click your link, copy it, and then you can create a hyperlink to it, right? By clicking this link version, right? Which is very useful. Like, for instance, when I mentioned Sigmund Freud or any famous psychologist, I generally add the other thing that I often use when I do with text is this emphasize thing. These little blocks here determine to how big they're going to look in your actual Sway. So again, if you want to see how it looks, just hit play, and this is how it looks. And as you can see, participants just can click on that link, and it will take them to that link that you had before. Again, I go back to edit. So this is one of the things that I can do, add text or use other text that has been uploaded before by way of PowerPoint. So for instance, this, right, I generally make it bigger. That way it looks great, right? And I can easily change this again to numbers and those type of things. So it's very useful to add text, and I generally add this, think of this as one of my slides, or at least one portion of my usual PowerPoint slide. Another option is adding a title. By that one, you can click either heading 1, right? That adds a new section, or you can also use one of your texts as a title. So I just hit heading and it's converted into a title already. Again, if you go to this, now it looks like a title, as you can see. And you can just hit Control-Z to undo things, or just click, back. And you can drag an image from your device. So when I hit this drag an image here, or, and I think this is another really cool thing, you can use this suggested search sources to find pictures. So,
like you used to be able to do in PowerPoint. There used to be so many like stock images in PowerPoint that aren't there anymore.
Exactly. The good thing about this, let's say that I want to put something about stress. Notice that it says Creative Commons only here. That means these are images that are free for anyone to use without violating any copyright. They have a Creative Commons license, so it's safe. You're not violating anyone's copyrights. And then, you just click on them and grab them and put them here. So if you were to look at this on the play side, right, as you can see now, that image that I chose is in the back. Again, most of these are things you just learn by doing them and playing with them. When you play with images, when you use images, it creates this option here that is called focus points. And what that determines is whether you want the people who see your slides to see the whole image like this. So if you click the entire image is important, they will see the whole image. Or you can you can use the kind of default version, right? And what you can do is you can point to points of that image that you want to be kind of most important, right? So as you can see, what I did here is I just click one portion of the image that I find important. That portion that I clicked is what looks here, what appears here. If you add more points, what you're going to see is the image kind of going down, which is kind of cool. So the way it looks now, if I scroll down through it, as you can see, it starts moving through the image, which makes it look pretty cool, pretty exciting, right? And can help you focus on particular aspects of the images that you're using. So essentially, that is how you do it, right? You create a section, you add text. The other thing that you can add, in addition to text, is you can create subtitles. You only have 2 levels. So if you hit text, if you hit the plus button here and you go to text, you have the options heading 1, heading 2, and text. So heading 2 is more of a subtitle. In any case, this is what this would look like, right? So here's my first title, write some text, and then the subtitle. It makes it very easy to navigate in that way. Mm-hmm. As I said, by importing your PowerPoints, you already have slides and images and those type of things, but also you can do it on your own, of course, right? So you can, if you hit this button and you already have the option here to have an image. Same thing for videos. If I hit videos here, I can also find, and as you can see here, they already recommended me videos in YouTube or other sources. You can just grab a video that is already available online and put it there, or you can just upload your own videos.
You could put like TED Talks in there, really.
Exactly. Super easily.